Hello everyone, it's Miss Denise here from the Decatur Public Library in my home today, and I am going to be showing you how to paint with tea and coffee. So first up, let's see what we need. So our supplies, I'm just using plain paper. Well, it's got a little embellishment there. Watercolor brushes, tea, and coffee. That is a disposable filter that I filled up with about a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more of coffee. And then I put some boiling water on it and you just let it steep until it's nice and cool. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get our coffee and our tea, our paper, and our brushes. And first we'll just do a little sample and see how it looks on the paper. Just to see what color and how dark it'll be. The coffee looks pretty dark. And we'll try our tea, which will probably be a little lighter. It is, and it gives it off almost a kind of a little bit of a red color going on there. Oh, that looks pretty nice. So a couple of layers to make it a little darker. So that's your coffee and that's the tea. We'll see what it looks like once we actually let it dry and paint something with it. Okay, so as you can see, the coffee, this one here, it's a nice dark brown. The tea, this one here, is a little lighter, but both I think will work really well with what we're going to do today. So if you take a little bit of time, you can sketch out something, like I've already sketched out what I want to do. I'm going to do a deer. Nice brown tones I think will work really well with that. So then, just get your brushes. And you just start to paint. Now the coffee is darker. If you don't like the shade, you can add more coffee to your brew. So whenever you do, you can do maybe 2 teaspoons to about a teaspoon of hot water. Or a tablespoon of hot water, I should say. And let it brew that way, and it'll make the color darker. Same thing with the tea. If you want it to be a darker shade, you can use the same amount of water, but do 2 tea bags and let it steep for as long as you want. I usually just let it steep until it gets cool, so I don't burn myself when I take the bag out. Now, if you noticed at the beginning of the video, I have put my coffee in a disposable tea bag, one that you can just fill up and put your coffee in there, or loose leaf tea. You can also just do the coffee on its own and then sift it out. Now I'm using plain paper instead of watercolor paper because I figured we all had some paper just lying around. And if you're a tea drinker, then you probably have some tea. Different kinds of tea will give you different shades. I just went with a plain black tea, but you can do green tea, or hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea will give you a nice color. This is why I always recommend doing a little sample first to see what colors you're going to get. And you can plan your artwork from there. And you want to let it dry completely. And if you see that some parts are a little lighter than what you want, you let it dry completely and then do another round. And you'll get a nice dark color, something vibrant. I personally love the way the color of the coffee looks. And it gives you, well, and it just smells wonderful. Same thing with the tea, because I did just a plain black tea on that, but you can use any kind. And you, of course, do not have to outline your artwork. You can always just freehand it with your paintbrush if you feel confident in doing that. I like to paint within the lines. All right. So you can take a look there. You can see how some of that color came through. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll take a look and see what it looks like when it's all dry. Okay, so after about 10 or 15 minutes of letting it dry, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the coffee came out a nice brown color. The tea, which I did the antlers and the eye and the nose, came out just a little lighter, but still I think it looks pretty nice. And like I said, you can adjust the colors by the strength of your tea or your coffee. And if you just want to use coffee, then just use coffee. If you want to use a variety of teas, then, experiment and have fun with it. So I hope you enjoyed our little tutorial today on how to paint with coffee and with tea.